Many of the issues that I want to talk about were already brought up, so I'm just going to expound a little bit on some of the questions that have previously been asked. You know, I want to go back to this issue of staffing levels at USDA within every one of our communities and congressional districts. Our FSA, NRCS, R&D, you know, staff, they are critical lifelines. I think, Mr. Wenzero, you talked about the need, actually, for more focus from NRCS on technical assistance in our communities and what a difference that can make. Again, I want to go back to the fact that there is this deferred resignation offer. It has not been acted upon. They are still working their jobs 9 to 5, many times over in that particular case. But right now, we are seeing literally 65,000 plus that have taken that offer. There is a goal, we know, of 5 to 10% of culling of the federal workforce. This is upwards of 200,000 individuals throughout the country. Would you say right now that USDA staffing in our communities to support everyday farmers, especially our small to medium-sized farmers, ranchers, and producers, are adequate right now as it exists today to meet the needs and to be able to really have farming now go from the red to the black?
So I guess from our standpoint, you know, as a farmer who has not used NRCS programs, the staffing level in the past has been such that generally NRCS will focus on those farmers who have signed contracts. There's a lot of opportunity, I think, for NRCS to provide more technical service support to the farmers who have not signed contracts, and I don't know.
So if I may ask this question, because I want to be mindful of my time, do you think that they could do that extra technical assistance with their existing staff, and what would happen if their staff theoretically were cut in half or more? Could they provide now additional technical assistance to folks you're mentioning, like yourself?
I would say they're not providing as much technical service support already, and if their staffing was reduced, obviously it would be less.
Okay, if I could just get a real brief yes or no. If the staffing at USDA, especially in these particular areas, FSA, NRCS, were cut at least by half, would we see significant decrease in services and support to farmers?
Yes.
Yes.
I really don't have enough information to give you an accurate answer.
Mr. Newton, any comment?
I think the same. I think it depends on what happens with replacing those workers.
Okay. Well, just to let you know, Mr. Chair, Ranking Member, we have sent a letter to OPM asking for a breakdown by agency, department, congressional district on where these potential individuals will be leaving and taking that deferred resignation offer so we can understand the potential impacts. You know, Mr. Newton, you painted a pretty grim but honest picture of the state of the agricultural economy. I mean, 3 years in a row of lower negative economic returns for crop farmers. Our farm sector economy declining 22% over the last 3 years. Would you say right now, for the everyday farmer that's reflected on these particular graphs, how much cash reserve do you think they have?
That's probably a tougher question to answer. I don't think that information's available in aggregate, but I defer to my colleagues here.
But generally, our small to medium-sized farmers, do they have cash reserve?
There are farms that have working capital that have been built up over the years. I think if you look at dairy farms and cattle farms that we work with.
Well, we know that the cattle and dairy, to your point in your graphs, they are doing fine right now, our ranchers. It is our crop farmers that are suffering. I guess my question is, for many of these individuals, as it was asked, they've invested tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars into cost share reimbursement programs like EQIP, Conservation Stewardship Program, all of these different acronyms. What happens if they're on the hook, and can they survive beyond 90 days? Because we know that that is just the hope that they will be actually reimbursed in 90 days. If they're reneged on these particular contracts, will they be able to survive with their current cash?
Well, Farm Credit, we work with our customers through the tough times and the good times. I think we've heard that testimony here today, but very importantly, all of these environmental sustainability initiatives, the farmer has to be economically sustainable first. And I think that's what we're talking about here is the economic crisis that farmers are dealing with across the country.
Similar farmers have faced COVID crises. They've faced other trade war crises that we saw in 2017, 2018. I guess my big question is, can they actually take this additional hit to farming right now, especially when we consider that it's coupled with both potential trade wars, loss of labor due to immigration policies, and so many other different things. Mr. Chair, I do have additional questions that I want to insert into the record. Thank you.